Today I've got a PSA for you. Let's talk about fire safety. My neighbor's house burned down about a month or two ago. True story, this is the way that it happened with my neighbor's house. About 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe 1:30, my sister, who was staying at my place at the time, heard somebody screaming help. Threw my boots on. She ran outside without her shoes even on. We ran over to the neighbor's house 3 acres away, so that's about good 600 feet or so. By the time we get there, the house is engulfed. The neighbor is nowhere to be found. The front door can't be opened. There are flames billowing and breathing inside the house. I ran around the house screaming and calling for my neighbor who was missing at the time. But it was utterly useless. I could not call her name and find her, and I could not get the fire out. Although I did grab a bucket and start filling it with water from the hose, and it was like 25 or 30 degrees outside, so the first 3 or 4 hoses I tried to use were frozen. Once I ripped the nozzle off and I got water to come out of the actual tap itself, I started filling a bucket, and by the time I picked the bucket up, I realized that bucket had holes drilled all inside it, so I had to find another bucket. That was not a good time. It took less than maybe 2 minutes for all that to transpire, and by then the windows had already broken out of the front and flames were already protruding from the front of the building. I found a 5-gallon bucket, started filling the 5-gallon bucket full of water and running up and throwing it into the open window, which did almost nothing for the fire, but I think it might have done a little bit because it got the fire quieted down just a tiny bit right there by the front door where the windows were. And then about the time I got the 3rd bucket on the fire department drove up in their EMS truck, and they got out and they were running toward the house without even being fully dressed in their uniforms. Their jackets were still going on, their helmets were still going on, they were still pulling their tanks around their backs as they were running, and I told them what was going on. We had 1 person missing. I don't even know if I told them about the animal. I don't think I did. I think I just told them about the person because, in the heat of the moment, I was just talking about the person was the most important. And they ran straight into that fire, and then they came out about a minute and a half later with a dog, and they told me they checked every room and did not find a human being, and by then we had found the human being down the street trying to seek help. They gave the dog CPR, and the dog survived. It did great. The family was very happy. The moral of the story is they spent the next 4 or 5 hours trying to get this fire out, and it had only been raging for about 20 minutes before they got there. So get yourself some fire extinguishers. If you wait for the fire department to put the fire out when it's small, by the time they get there it will be big, and you will have nothing left. Get some fire extinguishers. Small fires are easy to put out. Big fires, not so much. Ta-ta for now. Thanks for watching. Do all the things or whatever. Peace.